This $40 part bankrupts you. A shop in Ohio just proved it. 6 hours on the lift and over $1,100 gone before anyone found the truth. And the terrifying part is this could be your car sitting there right now. Somewhere under your hood is a part that costs less than your monthly phone bill, and if you ignore it, it can trigger a domino of repairs that drain your bank account and leave you stranded on the side of the road. Today you're going to see every single one of these hidden traps, counting down from the parts that quietly wreck your budget to the $140 sensor that fools even seasoned mechanics. So by the end of this, you'll know exactly what to ask for before a shop ever touches your car. Number 9 on your list is your cabin air filter, and at $15 it feels too small to matter, which is exactly why you forget it exists. It's buried behind your glove box, out of sight, out of mind, and completely off the radar during a normal inspection, so you keep driving while it silently clogs. Your blower motor doesn't know it's supposed to quit, it just keeps grinding away at double the effort, and that kind of abuse doesn't forgive you forever. Ignore this long enough and that $15 filter turns into a $200 blower motor replacement plus labor to tear into your dash, a financial gut punch you never saw coming. Foggy windows, a musty blast of air, weaker airflow every single month. Those are your warning signs, and almost nobody connects the dots until it's too late. Change it every 12 to 15,000 miles, or you're gambling with a bill that's 13 times the price of prevention. Number 8 is your PCV valve, a $20 part hiding under your intake that almost nobody thinks to test first. When it sticks closed, pressure inside your engine has nowhere to escape, and it starts forcing oil past seals that were never built to fight back. You bring your car in for a leak and walk out with a quote for a valve cover gasket or a rear main seal, hours of labor, hundreds of dollars, when the real culprit might be sitting right there for $20. If it sticks open instead, you get a rough idle that gets blamed on your idle air control valve almost every single time. Another wrong diagnosis, another wasted invoice. If you drive a turbo, this one is even more dangerous, because a failing PCV can drag oil straight into your intake and burn through a quart before you even notice. The cheapest part under your hood is often the last one anyone checks, and that's a mistake that costs you real money. Number 7 is your EVAP Purge valve, sitting between a $40 fix and a several $100 guess. Your check engine light comes on, someone tightens your gas cap, sends you home, and 3 weeks later that light is back to haunt you. From there most shops jump straight to your charcoal canister, a repair that can run you hundreds of dollars, while the real answer, your purge valve, sits quietly in between costing $40 to $90. A proper smoke test finds it in minutes, but that test gets skipped constantly in favor of expensive part swapping guesswork that drains your wallet instead of solving your problem. Rough idle, hard starts, a faint whiff of fuel near your engine, that's this valve failing right in front of you. In states with emissions testing, this code alone can fail your inspection outright, turning a cheap fix into a registration nightmare if you let it slide. Number 6 is carbon buildup in your throttle body, and this one is a slow motion trap. Every time your engine breathes, oil vapor creeps through your intake and bakes onto your throttle plate mile after mile after mile. The result feels like a rough idle, a hesitation pulling away from a stop, sometimes a full stall while you're braking with the AC running, symptoms that look identical to a failing idle air control valve or throttle position sensor. Because those parts are easier to scan for, they get replaced first, and a whole electronic throttle body assembly can run you $250 to $500 installed. A proper cleaning costs less than an hour of labor, and it's routine maintenance almost nobody schedules because your dashboard never warns you it's due. That silence is exactly what turns a cheap cleaning into an expensive replacement. And before you keep watching, if you want to catch these problems before they catch your wallet, subscribing means you'll never miss the next warning sign we uncover, because these traps show up on every single car eventually, including yours. Number 5 is your radiator cap, and this $15 to $30 piece of plastic controls more than you think. It holds your cooling system under pressure, raising your coolant's boiling point well above 212 degrees, and once that seal weakens, your whole system can't hold pressure anymore. You get overheating, coolant vanishing with no puddle in sight, sometimes a slow bubble out of your overflow tank, and those symptoms mimic a failing water pump or a blown head gasket almost exactly. Because those bigger failures are so much scarier and so much more expensive, they get tested first, while your $30 cap gets reused without a second thought. A cap tester takes 2 minutes to run, it just has to occur to someone to grab it, And that oversight alone has sent drivers into panic and shops into unnecessary teardowns. Number 4 is your transmission shift solenoid, and this is where the fear really sets in. A delayed shift, a hard clunk between gears, your transmission hunting or locking into limp mode, these are words that terrify any driver because transmission trouble sounds like a death sentence for your car. Your instinct jumps straight to a full rebuild or replacement, a repair that can run you $2,000 to $4,000 or more, an absolute financial disaster for most households. A scan tool usually points at a specific solenoid circuit, but in the rush to sell you the bigger job, that code gets skipped right past far too often. A single solenoid typically costs $30 to $150, and on plenty of transmissions it's reachable without ever pulling the transmission itself. A rough shift doesn't always mean your transmission is dying. Sometimes it just means one small electric valve stopped listening, and mistaking one for the other is a costly mistake you can't afford. Number 3 is your coolant temperature sensor, and this one plays with your fear directly. When it drifts, your engine thinks it's warmer than it actually is, running leaner than it should and quietly costing you fuel economy every single morning without you noticing. It can also send a wildly inaccurate signal to your gauge, and there's no worse feeling than watching that needle climb toward the red zone on your dash. That single moment sends plenty of drivers straight into a head gasket conversation, a repair that can cost you $1,500 or more once labor and machine work are added in. The actual sensor behind it often costs $20 to $40, and testing it takes minutes with a simple resistance check, but once the words head gasket are said out loud, panic takes over and rational thinking checks out. Don't let fear write you a $1,500 check when a $40 part was the real answer all along. Number 2 is your downstream oxygen sensor, sitting quietly after your catalytic converter and doing nothing but watching. When it fails, it throws a catalyst efficiency code that looks identical on a scan tool to a dying catalytic converter itself, a repair that can run anywhere from $500 to over $2,000 depending on your vehicle. Here's what should make you furious. The sensor causing that code often costs just $40 to $80, and replacing it first solves the problem far more often than people expect. Worth knowing too, federal emissions rules require most catalytic converters to carry an 8-year, 80,000-mile warranty, so if a shop is quoting you full price on a newer vehicle, that alone deserves a second opinion. A bigger repair means a bigger invoice, and that price tag alone shapes what gets recommended to you first, whether it's actually true or not. Number 1 is your camshaft position sensor, the $40 part behind that Ohio nightmare from the very beginning. Its job is telling your engine's computer exactly where your camshaft sits relative to your crankshaft in real time, so every injector and every spark plug fires at the perfect instant. Get that timing wrong by even a fraction and your engine runs rough, stalls, or on some vehicles refuses to start at all, leaving you stranded when you least expect it. Here's why this sensor fools even experienced mechanics. It fails intermittently, working fine when cold and misbehaving once your engine hits operating temperature, then recovering before anyone can catch it red-handed. You drive to the shop, a technician plugs in a scanner, and your engine idles perfectly again like nothing was ever wrong. No light, no clue, nothing pointing toward the real problem. So the diagnosis starts where every flowchart says to start: fuel delivery, ignition components, throttle response, all reasonable, all expensive, and all completely beside the point. Its close cousin, your crankshaft position sensor, causes nearly identical symptoms and gets missed for exactly the same reason, so ask about both together. If you've ever felt a tiny hiccup in your idle, a half-second stumble that catches itself, that flutter is often the very first warning this sensor is losing its signal. The part itself costs $25 to $55 with maybe 20 to 30 minutes of labor, and that's the difference between a quick fix and the $1,100 nightmare that opened this video. Now you know exactly which 9 parts get overlooked and exactly how a $40 sensor can spiral into a financial disaster if the wrong shop gets to your car first. Keep this list saved, because the next time a warning light comes on, you'll know precisely what to ask for before anyone touches your engine. Subscribe right now so you never walk into a shop unprepared again, and drop your city in the comments so I know exactly who I'm looking out for. Stick around for the next video, because the mistakes we're about to expose could be sitting in your driveway right now.